All right, guys. So what is a FED? FED is a financial eligibility determination waiver or something like that. And it's basically a waiver for bad credit. All right. So at the age of 23 or after the age of 23, the Air Force does a credit check. Before 23, you don't have to worry about it. So I'm 26, so they did a credit check. And I had no idea that they were going to do a credit check, but I also didn't think there was anything, terrible on my credit. But so basically what happened is your recruiter will ask you to come in, you'll sign paperwork, saying that it's okay for them to run your credit. And then after they do that, a few days later, they'll call you back. And y'all will sit down and talk about what is on your credit report. He will give you a copy of your credit report. Let's see if I can find mine. So I'm not going to show y'all. He'll give you a copy of your credit report. Mine is 3 pages long. It has everything on there from your names or names that you used to have, your jobs that you worked at, anything that you have under your credit, any inquiries, just everything. So mine's 3 pages long. All of it isn't bad, stuff. It's just, everything that's under my name or has ever been under my name. Okay, so basically in the Air Force, you cannot owe anybody or be behind on payments. Apparently, you are more likely to be able to be bribed if you are in debt. And what else? It just has something, it goes against integrity or something because you're not doing what you say you'll do, and not keeping up with your bills. So basically what you'll do is he'll go over everything, and then he'll tell you what all you need to get paid off or what you need to get down to be able to start your enlistment process. So he'll send you home with your credit report, and you go home. And what I did was I looked at my credit report and I made a list of everything that I was behind on or was in collections, and I found the number to each creditor, and I just started at number 1. I started calling people. And so what I would do is I would call and ask if it was too high. I would ask if I could set up a payment plan, but if it was reasonable and I was able to pay that off that day, I would just pay it all off. So if you set up a payment plan, you would need to get a payment plan contract from the creditor, and they'll usually email it to you that same day, or they'll, sometimes they'll put it in the mail. If they email it to you, it has to have the name of the company and, of course, your name, the account number, and basically saying Barbara said that she would agree to pay $24 a week until the balance is paid in full. And you will use that, and you will give that to your recruiter. My advice on that would be, if you do a payment plan, set the payment plan up for the very minimum. So do not set a payment plan for $125 a week, knowing dang well you cannot afford a $125 payment. If you can afford a $125 payment, wonderful. But I always suggest that you set it up for maybe $25 or $50 a month. What the lowest amount that they'll take, that's what you set it up for. And when it's time to make your payment, make sure you make that minimum payment. But if you can pay more to hurry up and get it over with, pay more. So say you paid, the minimum payment was $25 a month. When the 15th rolls around, or whenever the day that is due, you can pay them $300 if you have it. But you don't want to be in a situation where you told them you could pay them $300 but you only have $25, because then that ends up not being good either, because now you're not keeping up with your part of the bargain, and it just doesn't look good. All right, so that's that. If you decide to pay in full, make sure the company sends you a receipt. Make sure the company sends you a receipt. I would suggest they send it in an email. And some of them say they don't do emails, but if you talk to the right people, they'll send it to you in an email. I had to like talk to managers and supervisors, all type of people, to make sure I got my receipts. Because your receipt is your proof of payment for the Air Force. All right, so once you go through the whole list and make sure you call everybody, get everything paid off, or set up a payment plan, that's when you start writing your letter. So you will have to write a letter for your waiver, basically saying, you know, I want to be in the Air Force. This is what I did to fix the problem that I had. I have my letter, or I have a version of my letter in my folder. Okay, so look, everything that had to do with my waiver, I keep in a folder. Like everything. And it's a lot of stuff. I only had 7 things that I needed to take care of, but seriously, everything is in here, because my recruiter would call me all the time and say, hey, can you send this to me again? Or do you have so-and-so's number? Or do you have the original copy? Like all types of stuff. So it's just easier to keep it kind of organized. All right, so this is my letter. I know it seems extensive, but it's really not. I'll probably try to put something in the description box to show y'all what it's supposed to look like, or like I guess a template or something. All right, so I started my letter off saying, you know, I, Amnesty Terrell, request to be considered for a waiver to allow me to join the United States Air Force. This is clarify my financial worksheet to join the United States Air Force. Currently, I have, and then I started to say I have this many credit card debts, this many credit lines, and you know, something else. And I said, I understand this is my responsibility, and I have either made payment arrangements or paid the debts in full. That was my first paragraph. Okay, and then every paragraph after that is basically all of the stuff that's behind on your credit. And what you'll do is you'll put it in order as it is on the credit report that your recruiter gave you. So if the first thing on your credit report is you owing Susie's lawn chair company $507, then that will be your second paragraph. And so you'll start with the date that you received, or the date that they added it to your credit report. So you'll say, in January 2017, I was sent the bill of $207 from Susie's lawn chair company for the remaining balance for whatever. And then you'll say, I set up a payment plan for account, and then you'll put the account number. You will refer back to your credit report to get that. So it'll be like XYZ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 with a minimum monthly payment of whatever your minimum payment was, so $26 until paid in full. Now if you paid the balance in full, you'll say you got it from so-and-so, the balance is now paid in full. To verify information, please contact, and then you'll insert their number there, period. And then at the end of your paragraph, you'll put in parentheses, see attachment 1. Okay, so that's your first paragraph, so that'll be your first attachment. When you're done with the entire letter, you will attach each one of your receipts or payment plan contracts to the back of this. So your second paragraph, it'll be the same setup, but the next thing on your credit report, and then you'll say see attachment 2, and then attachment 3, and so on and so forth until you're done. It's important that you get everything like correct on here. The dates, the order, the name of the company that is on your credit report. So I know sometimes creditors sell the debts. You have to get the one that was sold. So if it was originally from Progressive and they ended up selling it to James somebody and so, then you will put James somebody and so, not Progressive, because the people who are going over this won't keep up with it. Okay, so you'll put everybody on there in order. And then my last paragraph said, I understand that this is my responsibility to resolve my debt, and I have made every effort to get my accounts in good standing. I hope that I have provided enough information and have proved that by paying my debts off and setting up payment arrangements that I have full intentions on enlisting in the United States Air Force. I hope that my previous mistakes will not hinder my enlistment process. Thank you for your consideration, and signed by me, and my phone number under that. So I put my phone number at the bottom because they will call and verify that these payment arrangements have been kept up with. They will call and verify that you did make this payment, even though that you put the receipt in the letter. They have to call and verify. So if they do call and verify, that's why I said if you do have a minimum payment, keep up with that minimum payment. Lord, this sun is not working with me. All right, turn this way. So if you do have a minimum payment, you have to keep up with it, because they will call and verify. They go through this letter with a fine-tooth comb. I got this letter, like, if you can't see, like, this letter was written all over, because my recruiter took the letter, gave it to his boss, and his boss looked over it. And his boss gave it back to him with, you know, the corrections on it. Have somebody look over it before you send it to your recruiter. Have somebody proofread it, make sure punctuation and spelling is correct, make sure, you know, grammar, all of that, make sure it's right. Because this is, basically you've been disqualified from the Air Force. This is your way back in. So they don't have to take you. They don't have to accept this waiver. So this is you kind of pleading your case, saying, I know I messed up. I've done this to make it right. I also suggest that if you know that you have stuff on your credit, get it taken care of before you go see your recruiter. My issue was I didn't know anything about this. So I kind of went in blind. But if you check your credit and you know that it's some things that's on your credit that you can take care of it before you go see him, before y'all do the credit report. Because if there's a possibility that you don't have to get this waiver, that's the best. A lot of people have an issue with, you know, how long waivers take. Waivers could take a week, waivers could take months. My waiver took a very long time. I started this process in June. It's January now. So, and I think I just got approved last month or something like that. So these take forever. So if you can avoid it, avoid it. Like, I can't say any of this wasn't my fault. Some of it I had nothing to do with. It was just fraudulent activity, but it's my fault that I did not keep up with my own credit. It's my fault that I didn't look into it before I went up there. And then some of this other stuff, it was like, I'll just pay him when I pay him, which bit me in the ass, because now I have to wait to enlist because I didn't pay a $53 medical bill. Some of it's just like stupid stuff. But now everything's paid off. I don't owe anybody anything. It feels great. It is freeing to be debt free. I can go into BMT and not worry about, you know, bill collectors calling, you know, and not worry about who's going to take something out of my bank account and this, that, and the other. So my suggestion would be, before you speak to a recruiter, check your own credit so you know, and you can get it taken care of before you have to do this, because this took way too long. I had to jump through way too many hoops. It was way too stressful. So if you can avoid it, avoid it. Okay, so yeah, that's it. After you send this off and they you know, I guess you fix it a couple times and then everything's good, you just wait. There's no set time when it could be done. You're at the mercy of them. It's whenever they feel like approving it, if they approve it. And then that's another thing. Tickets. So another thing I had to deal with was tickets. I had a lot of tickets, but I think you can only get a certain amount of tickets within, I don't know, like 3 years or something like that. I barely made it. You have to pay every one of those tickets before you can even start the process. They will not accept you if you owe anybody anything that includes tickets. You will have to go to your city court clerk, get a print off, and it'll have like every ticket, paid and unpaid, that you've ever gotten. And you would, next to the ticket and the ticket number, it says whether it's paid or unpaid. So all the unpaid ones you have to pay off. I paid like, I had a lot of tickets and a lot that I didn't pay. And a lot of it, I'm kicking myself in the ass for now, because they were like $25 tickets, $30 tickets that turned into $250 tickets. Very stupid, very irresponsible. Some of them are like 9 years old. Don't be me. Don't do anything stupid like that, because I ended up paying way more than I had to for a freaking 5 over ticket. So yeah, I think that's it. If y'all have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If y'all need any help with waivers, if I guess you want me to read over something, I don't know, anything you'll need, I will try my best to help you out. If you have a question, I will definitely ask my recruiter or someone who knows if I don't know, and get back with you. I have a lot more videos coming out soon, so I guess y'all stay tuned. Thanks, bye.